It helps when Trae Young is guarding you, certainly. But again, he was terrific, start to finish, all game long. Consistently the best offensive player.
He's back, right? I hope so. Like, we've seen a week now, a good, consistent performance.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
I can't tell if he's sarcastic. Am I the only one? Like, John, I feel like, are you trying to throw shade at Kemba right now, or you're just like?
No,
I think this is 3 straight games now that he's like showed
5 games,
he can be his own self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Washington game was a great start for him, and then he's continued it throughout the week. And we're talking about what now, like 60% shooting from him from the field. Finishing inside, which he wasn't doing before. That finish through Capella tonight was as encouraging as anything else. Like even more than that 8-point burst in the halftime. So he's adding layers and layers to what he's doing here. He's getting off the ball a little bit, which we want to see. The adjustments that he needs to make are happening quickly. And I know I was looking into his defensive numbers. They're still below average, but I still feel like, as we talked about the Jeff Teague and Pritchard situation on Wednesday, he brings you better defense than those two. And he's positionally sound, and he fits with all these other starters so well in a way that, we were talking about dumping this guy earlier in the year. And I don't think that's even in the imagination now. They're so much better when he's out there, and he still adds so much to this team, even at a diminished state.
Yeah, no question. I think one of the biggest things I noticed tonight that I didn't see necessarily beforehand was the point of emphasis of seeing the floor as opposed to seeing how is he going to score. Like, I feel like beforehand it was like, okay, when he had the ball in his hands, most likely he was considering how to, attack the defense or if he's going to pull up. And this time around, it just seemed like he was just going with the flow of the offense. Whatever the team, whatever the offense was reading, whatever the offense was reading from the defense, he was able to attack, and he was attacking with confidence because he wasn't overthinking. It got to the point where, like, when he's not overthinking and he's scoring, and it's not just 3-pointers that he's relying on, he's able to mix it up and find teammates for good looks or in transition buckets. Like, that transition play where the ball didn't touch the floor and the alley-oop, up to, I think it was Thompson or Rob. Like, those are the kind of plays that Kemba it's a no-brainer because he's just out there playing basketball and he's not overthinking it. Like that's the kind of Kemba out there. What we saw tonight was the Kemba that I remember from last season before the bubble, or at least the normal Kemba that we waited to see come back.
Yeah.
He's back. It's back.
Much closer to pre-bubble Kemba. Much closer to pre-bubble.
It's time, guys. I think it's
time. Hit the camera for me.
You doing it?
Hit the camera. Already?
Here we go.
Listen,
hold on. Wait a second.
I can't do it yet.
John, you should be joining them. Come on.
All right. Here it is.
I don't have 2 shots.
Before the season started, I said on the show numerous times, I was worried about Kemba Walker. Not to John's level worried. I didn't want to amputate his leg, but I was very concerned that you weren't going to see Kemba Walker until March if you were lucky, and that this team was going to be in big trouble without him. Now, I was kind of right that they are in big trouble without him, but you seriously saw the difference between a team with Kemba Walker and without Kemba Walker, Wednesday to Friday, right? And not just Kemba Walker, but a healthy Kemba Walker. The way that they've managed his minutes, the way that they've had him take certain games off on his way back, played 33 minutes tonight, 10 of 16 from the field. This isn't the first game he's shot well and scored points for them. I know that there's been some concern with his shot making, but when you want to talk about his health, I think he's fully back health-wise. I won't say fully back. He's got to go back-to-back maybe, but that knee looks great. He looks good, and I was wrong because I assumed way, way worse for the pain tolerance and what he was gonna look like coming back from the injury. He looks like Kemba Walker, and tonight he played like Kemba Walker. So that's my apology, Cam. First one of the year, probably the only one of the year, so don't get used to it.
You know
Jeff
what?
Teague.
All right.
Teague in there.
Not bad.
I like it.
That wasn't bad. I like it. Boy.
That was earnest. That was honest. There was no buts in there. Clean apology. You would never get
clean
that
apology.
from me.
And you know what I also said? I said I would be happy to be wrong. I said I would be happy to. This is the apology that I'm happy to have.
I will co-sign with everything that Jimmy said in terms of worry that the main concern was whether he'd come back as early as he did. The fear was that they were soft pedaling the injury.
Started. John was like, "Get him out of here. He's done."
John said he prefers the ACL tear. He was hoping that.
Yeah, he did say that. It was a clean.
I'll stand by that. I will not apologize for that.
It's better if it's a clean
people in the
break.
comments. There's people in the comments saying that it's too soon for an apology. Listen, I've been holding off on this apology for. Bobby wanted me to apologize like 6 weeks ago. So
I was thinking another week.
I'm pretty confident in Kemba's health. The apology is about his health. He looks healthy. The knee looks fine. I have no reason to believe that he's injured or playing hurt right now. So that's what the apology is for. I'm not saying he's never going to have a bad game. That could still happen. Hell, they could trade him next week. But for what I was wrong about was his health. I think he's healthy. Yeah, John, you can't pick. John, when you're ready, you'll get your own. You'll get your own camera, dude. That cosign, John. John's trying to hide behind my apology.
Wait, how does Saint Celtic know that? Anyway.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're a Fish fan?
Doesn't matter.
About time. Right.
He doesn't want to claim it. He doesn't want to claim it. All right.
Nice job, Jimmy. I mean, I went in early on the Raptors, and that actually turned out to be a mistake. They're back, and they just swept the Bucks, and now I got to get back on that
bandwagon. Bobby, you have so much
again
to apologize for, my man. You got the Raptors would absolved you of so many other things. Okay, so we'll get there eventually.
We'd have to have a whole
I came very close on Thompson. I came very close on Thompson, but I'm liking what he's doing the last few weeks. I'm holding off.
Yeah, man.
I didn't read your text from like 3 days ago. You are the wishy-washiest guy.
Yeah,
3 days ago,
like,
you said,
I'm done. That's it.
I'll way out, guys.
Bring in Vucevic. I'm done.
I have it. It's in my phone 2 days ago. I'm all the way out, guys.
The texts are a much different story. We've only gone to the text once on this show, and that's always a dangerous game. Thompson
are confessional.
Yeah. The Thompson stuff is settled down, but I was close there. Raptors deserve an unapology chant because they're back and they're right behind the Celtics.
Apologizing for the apology. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Tristan, Jimmy, I will say I'll clarify a little on your apology. I'm not even going to do it because everyone's going to light it up. I'm not going to do it.
No, go ahead.
You're
John.
good.
You can't do that.
There's still 6 and 8. There's still 6 and 8 with Kemba. Okay.
It's about the health. It's more.
It doesn't matter. It's about the trend. Doesn't matter.
Know what? I was gonna say that, but then you
that's unfair.
It's about the trend.
It's about the health.
It's all about the way he looks last few games. Yeah. Then again, I mean, look, it's at the end of the day, it might have in the beginning what we were saying about Kemba. We were saying he actually looks like he's moving okay. Just the shot's not falling. And that's what was killing you, which was like, if the shooting percentage was a tad higher, you'd be like, this is fine. We can live with this right now. He was just so brutal from the field. And then you start to get worried that, like, has he lost his stroke? Has he lost his confidence? He can't figure out what he wants to be. So sometimes, like I said, that's not a problem. With Tatum, with Kemba, with guys like that, they have to have that FU mentality and just let it and just fling it, And that's
I like his defense too. Am I crazy about that? Because I caught some flack on that online tonight. Like he all right, you're not going to line him up one-on-one with a guy and expect him to dominate defensively, but he's always in the.
Can't ever get through one.
He's always in the right position, and so he's plus 26 tonight. They had a top 5 defense last year with him playing all those minutes. Like, I'm just saying, this isn't Isaiah Thomas defensively. This guy can still bring it on that end. He hustles. He's always in the right spots. He's never lost in the pick and roll. And again, tonight, I thought he had a fairly strong game for 3 quarters against Trae Young until that started spilling over into the fourth. So that, too, I think is a strength of his as well.
So people saying it's too soon. You have to understand, like, I literally didn't think Kemba Walker would even be playing right now. So, like, I was pretty wrong about that. So I think it's a fair apology. Like, the guy's putting up, he's playing 33 minutes a game, 28 points, 10 of 16. Like, I was pretty freaking wrong about how I felt that return was going to go. So I don't think it was too soon. Again, I'm not saying, here's Kemba Walker, you're, the MVP of the second half. I'm just saying, listen, if this guy plays and is healthy the way that we know him to be, the Celtics have 3 legitimate scorers on their team. They just got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm holding out isn't stubbornness. My general vibe is I'm worried that it surfaces at some point during the year, and so that's the fear is that he doesn't make it clean through, and you have to live with another shutdown and then him coming back at less than 100%. So that's always the concern. It stinks to say you're not going to be satisfied with him until he makes it through injury free. But we've seen it flare up too many times in the last 18 months, 12 months to feel good. I mean, you're talking about 2 times with shutdowns, completely, and then a really slow restart on that bubble, just off this one injury that isn't surgically repaired and is something that is a management situation. So it's always a concern. And so I always feel like we're going to be holding our breath. You're one day away from Kemba's just going to take a couple days off, and it's like, here we go. So you don't want to see it because it would kill you. You have to have this version of Kemba Walker to have any chance. I think we're all in the same boat there. You have to have the Kemba you signed, or else this team's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, anything could happen. He could land on it weird or tweak it or something could happen. But I mean, based on what I saw tonight, I'm comfortable making my apology at this point. I'm not saying, John, you need to, or that he's completely out of the clear. But I think it's pretty safe to say that I was wrong about where I thought he'd be at this point in the season. So
Jimmy, I'm with you there too. I was worried we wouldn't see him until March. This felt like in mid-January we'll start talking about when to bring him back, and all of a sudden he was practicing and he was playing. So hats off Kemba. And again, a lot of people talk about this too. If Silver didn't jumpstart that season so quick, they might have been able to slip this one by us. And
he might not have missed any games.
And he might not have missed games, and it might have just been like, just training at his own pace, and that might not have been an issue. But obviously a bigger deal was made of it because all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're going to start camp. And Brad's like, yeah, you're not going to see Kemba. And everyone was like, what? So that freaked a lot of people out because they're like, yeah, no, definitely not for the start of the year. So.